Hi, how's it going? It is your boy Grave, and today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of Kamen Rider Revice. Now before we get into the video, I want you guys to know that I do have a Twitch channel. I stream games regularly on there. If you guys want to follow that, I'll leave a link in the description below. And with that, let's get into it. The episode starts off with Aguilera in the dead man's hideout asking when she will meet Gifu because he hasn't been revived yet. Octella tells her that they require more powerful sacrifices for him to be revived, and as soon as he says that, Julio comes in with a volunteer who create demons and basically bait out Iki and Vice. Soon after, we see Daiji visiting his mom in the hospital, and he doesn't know how to get Iki to join Phoenix, which I thought that was already solved the last episode, but I guess not. But it causes him to think about his fear that he had in episode 1 where he dropped the Revice driver and Iki had to pick it up and basically carry it. His mother tells him that Iki acts without thinking sometimes and that Daiji should focus on what he can do by himself. Later in the bathhouse, Iki and his family are being basically evicted by city workers so they can destroy the bathhouse to make room for a mall. All the meantime, Iki's father is doing this viral video, which he's been doing for the past 2 episodes. Which I don't know what his deal with these videos are, but he's basically useless at the moment. While Iki is in discussion with the city workers, the regular bathhouse goers burst in just to defend the bathhouse, and soon after, his father joins in, ripping off the tape he had on to do some viral video, and just looks like he's about to throw hands with the city workers. We then cut to Sakura and her friend, I think her name was Ayaka, being dropped off at a mall by Ayaka's mother. As it's on her way to Ayaka's younger sister to a photo shoot. I guess she's like an idol or something? And as they walk into the mall, a mysterious man gets orders from Julio, by all people, to kidnap Ayaka. Sakura and Ayaka are at this clothing store where they are looking at shoes and clothes, and Ayaka takes a pair of diamond shoes to show off. Now I want you to remember these diamond shoes, because they're going to be important later on. And as they're in the shop, the dead man's attack the mall. Back in the bathhouse, the father is about to sign the eviction form, but the regulars try to hold him back while the city workers try to push his hand into the papers to sign. And Iki gets a call from Sakura and informs him about the attack at the mall, and Iki rushes in to help. Daiji, being the Phoenix member, shows up first and fights off the dead man. All the while he's wondering where the hell Iki is. Soon after, Iki makes it to fight and fights the dead man's untransformed, unarmed, and he's getting his ass handed to him. Sakura and Ayaka make it to Iki, and when Iki sees Ayaka, he tries to play this off cool by just simply greeting her with a yo. And Vice comments that the atmosphere is a little uncomfortable, kind of hinting that Iki likes Ayaka or something. But soon after, they're attacked by dead mans again, and Iki attempts to defend them. Soon after, Sakura joining in the fight. While heading out of the mall, Ayaka gets kidnapped by that mysterious man who's getting orders by Julio, and at gunpoint orders Sakura to come with him. Now, she obliges, which I don't understand why. I guess she wanted to save Ayaka from any harm. But when they disappear, they leave the area, Iki gives chase, when suddenly a demon blasts through the wall with this horde of dead men. He was fighting the dead man unarmed for a while until Daiji shows up and handing him the driver, which he transforms. The normal dead mans are easy, while the bigger demon is harder to fight. Both of them can't even handle them. And Vice gets the bright idea that he should fight dirty, and he grabs the demon from behind, giving Iki the chance to strike at the demon. But the demon, being smart as he is, tosses Vice in front of him, forcing Iki to stop his attack midway through, letting the demon escape. Iki, Vice, and Daiji chase the demon into a warehouse where Sakura and Ayaka are being held. Vice and Daiji argue who's at fault in this situation. Vice is blaming Daiji because he wasn't there in time to give Iki the driver. Daiji's blaming Iki for not signing the contract, which I thought he was going to keep the driver after using it the second time. But soon Iki breaks them both up, to stop any infighting, telling Daiji to rescue the girls while he distracts the dead man, the demons, and transforms into his eagle form, and continues to beat down on the dead mans. Now when he's fighting the bigger one, Julio steps in and knocks the two down, and makes a comment saying they won't stop Gift's revival, which Iki takes notice of that, asking who Gift is, because remember, he doesn't know who Gift is. This is his first time hearing his name. Now as the two fight, both of them realize that Julio is too strong, but he offers a deal to hand over their stamps for the girl's safety. Now clearly this is a trap, because I don't think Julio's gonna let the girls go after he gets the stamps. Daiji remembers his mother's words that he has to do something only he can do, runs away from the scene, leaving Iki and Vice to fight alone. Back in the warehouse, Sakura asks the man what he wants, and he simply responds he just wants money and that the world is an unfair place, which got Sakura thinking for some reason. Back in the Felix Air Base, Daiji enters the conference room with Captain Yujiro saying that he ran away from the enemy. But instead, Daiji came in asking for more stamps, with George giving him two new ones. A mammoth one and a pterodactyl one. And as Daiji leaves with his new stamps, he notices another driver and asks George if he can take it. Back in the warehouse, the man asks Ayaka to call her mom so she can give her a ransom, but as she calls, the mom declines and says they're at the photo shoot, can you wait later? And this causes Ayaka saying that her mom doesn't care, which is a really, fucked up moment. Like, you won't give your other child the time of day because your other daughter is having a successful, photo shoot? I don't know, that's a little fucked up. Like, you should at least give all your kids equal attention, you know what I mean? Anyway, back during the fight, Iki and Vice get knocked down again by Julio, and Vice saying he wants to call it quits, but Iki tries to convince him that they can't leave without his sister, which is understandable. You don't leave family behind. Vice then asks Iki if his family is that important to him, with Iki responding that yes, they are irreplaceable. He made a promise to his mom that he would protect his family. Which I like out of this character, because it drives the fact that he values his family more than himself, really. Daiji soon returns, and as he gets off his bike, he hands Julia one of the stamps in order to save the hostages, which, I don't know why the hell you would do that. Like, your best chance of beating that guy is giving those stamps to Revice, to Iki and Vice. But as soon as Julio takes the stamp, he knocks Daiji down, calling him stupid for trusting him, which, yeah, you kind of got what you deserved with that. As Daiji is knocked down, he hands the other stamp to Iki, because remember, he got two stamps. And as soon as he gives Iki the stamp, he passes out. Now, this pisses off Iki, again, drives home the fact that he cares for his family a lot. But now, seeing his family getting hurt, he's angry. He uses his new stamp to transform into the mammoth form. Now, this mammoth form, I actually liked how the transformation works. So this form is based on Kamen Rider Den-O. And you can see in the helmets that they are very similar. Even the way the eyepieces form on his head is very similar to Den-O, which I like. It's very cool touch to put on this form. And with this form, Iki rushes in to fight Julio while Vice goes in to fight the demon. Now, as they're making a ruckus, Sakura breaks free and knocks the man out and flees with Ayaki. She just roundhouse kicks him, really fucking badass, if I do say so myself. Iki and Vice use their remix to turn to a mammoth, which, I'm not going to lie, I do like the mammoth a lot more than the eagle. It actually looks like a mammoth. But using the mammoth form, Vice and Iki tackle Julio, and he ends up dropping the stamp because of it. Julio summons some dead mans and flees, because he got his ass beat. Iki and Vice easily destroy the Deadmans with their new mammoth form, and using a finisher with it was badass little teleport gates, and they destroy the demon. After the fight, Daiji picks up the stamp he gave Julio, and the two girls praise Iki for rescuing him. Now Iki thanks Daiji for helping, for getting the two stamps, but Daiji remembers what happened in the Phoenix Bay after he asked to take the new belt. George basically mocks him, saying, "You want to use this driver when you were too afraid to use the Revice driver." And when Daiji was saying he wants to be like his brother, he wants to be strong like his brother, Yujiro yelled at him, saying, "Don't bring your personal feelings in the battlefield. Put the people first," which shows that Yujiro wants to protect more than defeat. I like that about Yujiro. After that flashback, Daiji responds to Iki's thanks, saying he doesn't need it, and he walks away, with Vice commenting that his pride is crumbling. Now, I don't know how I feel about this, because this kind of shows that now Daiji is having some sort of resentment towards Iki, because he was able to become Vice while he didn't. I feel like that is going to come up in later episodes and bite Phoenix in the ass. Speaking about Phoenix, they interrogate the man who kidnapped Ayaka, asking where he got his stamp. But he says he never got one, and Julie only told him to kidnap the girls, which they don't know where that big demon came from. The episode ends back in the Deadman's base, where Aguilera congratulates the volunteer sacrifice, saying that they have about 1 or 2 demons left in them, as the camera pans towards the feet, which shows the diamond shoes. Now, remember how I said, remember those diamond shoes? That kind of shows me, or at least hints, that the volunteer sacrifice may be Ayaka. Now, overall, this episode was a more straightforward one. Like, it went from point A to point B to point C. Like, there was barely any in-betweens, which I like when episodes just get straight to the point. As well as setting little seeds for a potential next villain or another conflict, like the Daiji starting to get resentment towards Iki. Overall, this episode was a good one. I do like the darker tone. Like, you never see like a real hostage situation in these kind of shows. I definitely like the turn this episode went. But anyway, guys, that is all we have for this episode. If you like what you saw, please leave a like. Please hit that subscribe button. And share this video with people you think would like it, with any Kamen Rider fans. Any likes and comments and reshares are very much appreciated. Follow my Twitch if you would like to see me play some games. I might play a Kamen Rider game. I already played Memory of Heroes. I might be thinking of playing Climax Scramble Zeo. I really enjoyed the Climax Fighters game, so I might actually enjoy this one. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next week, take care.